Good people of Earth, thank you very much for clicking this video. You are loved and respected. And if it's your first time here, let me keep you up to speed of what we are all about. Here we spread love, peace, forgiveness, and unity across the whole world. Kindly watch this video till the end and help us spread this message straight out of Africa with good vibes, lots of good vibes. Tell us where you're watching from and spread love. Let's dive in. Good vibes, man.
You know.
So cute! Are you cold? Papa! Okay, Papa! What was that? Hey, Papa! Okay, can you close your eyes? Do you know how to do that? Who's that? Who is that? Is that Moana? That's Moana, baby Moana. She looked at the TV. I know.
Psalm 25, verses 4 to 5. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Amen.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if every single time you try to communicate with someone about how you're feeling or express a need or stand up for yourself and tell them that you don't like the way that they're treating you, and they threaten to end the relationship every single time you try to have those conversations, and you end up in an anxiety attack or a panic attack or begging them to stay or apologizing for things that you didn't do, they are psychologically abusing you.
There is a major timeline split going on right now. And you've probably already heard a lot of different people talk about this. Usually it's said that there's a 3D timeline and a 5D timeline, or there's a 3D timeline and a New Earth timeline, or something along these lines. But a major way that you're going to be able to tell which timeline you're on, and it doesn't really matter which timeline you're on. One is not good and one is not bad. They both have their own very important, unique, individual purposes, okay? So it's not about looking at one as negative and one as positive, or one is bad and one is good, or whatever. It's just knowing where you are at right now and accepting where you're at. And if you don't want to be there, you can very quickly and very easily change where you are by simply becoming aware of what you're doing and aware of what you want to be doing instead. So basically how this is looking right now, which is something you're going to be experiencing very much, is if you're on the 5D timeline, you are very able to generate energy within yourself. And this manifests in a lot of different ways. Instead of reaching out or going outside of yourself or putting in a lot of effort or work or forcing things to happen, you are allowing things to happen for you. So there's not a lot of feelings of hard work. It doesn't feel like you are making things happen. It feels like things are just happening. The people who are still in the 3D timeline are going to be putting in an enormous amount of effort to get things done. And they are still collecting energy or generating energy from things outside of them. But because we're in this new reality where that doesn't work as well anymore, it used to work a long time ago, right? It used to work where if you could work hard, you could have a lot of the things that you want and you could generate a lot of energy, but now it doesn't work that way. So it's going to take them massive amounts of effort of reaching outside of themselves to generate energy. And again, this is not a good and bad thing. It's just is what it is. So if you're on the 5D timeline right now, you will be noticing that you are not putting yourself in situations that feel like work. You are not putting yourself in situations where you're trying to explain something to someone, where you're trying to get someone to understand you, where it feels like a lot of effort to do something. You're just not even going there anymore. It's not even a question. You're just not going there. And if you are on the 3D timeline, then every single thing that you're doing feels like massive, massive amounts of work and reaching outside of you to get what you want. And it does not feel like things are coming easy to you. Your mindset is still that you have to do all of this stuff in the 3D and the matrix to get something that you want, to be worthy of what you want. And if you're in the 5D timeline, you know that you're worthy just as you are, and things will come to you exactly when they're supposed to.
When they walked out of your life, they did not walk away with your love. Your love is yours to keep. And just because you loved them and you gave them that love, doesn't mean that love became theirs. That love may have became a part of them, but that love is still yours. And what you should do is you should learn to apply that love to yourself. Maybe that person came into your life to show you that a love within you so strong does exist, but that doesn't mean that it suddenly became theirs to keep. Take that love back. If you feel like they still hold on to it or they still have a huge part of your love with them, take that back. Recall that energy right back to you, because that love is yours, and what you should be doing is reapplying that love to yourself instead. There is no need for you to feel heartless and to feel so cold just because somebody walked away with the love that you once gave to them. It's not theirs, baby, it's yours. Learn to love yourself the way you loved them. That love within you exists, and guess what? You can love yourself just like you love them. And loving yourself just the way that you love that person is so much more powerful. It's so empowering. You are your person, so love yourself the way that you love them.
A lot of us have recently realized that the old way of life is over. It's done. And we've already passed through the portal into the new reality, and the door closed behind you. So you cannot go back to the old way of living. It's impossible. Can't go back there. So I know a lot of you have been really depressed, really anxious, really down for a little while now. And you're kind of going through this mourning process of your old life and the old people that were in your life, the old places that you used to go, the old things that you used to do. Because even though that life was very difficult, almost impossible to get through, it still was kind of easier than this new reality, because at least in the old reality, all of the blame and all of the responsibility was on every other person. You didn't have to take any responsibility for anything. Everybody else was figuring out how to do life, and you were just marching along in line. In this new reality, you are the creator. You're in charge. And there's nobody to follow behind and tell you what to do. It's all up to you and what you want to do. So there's this new phase right now of discovering what you really want to do. Because you've spent your whole entire life following somebody else's drum, following the beat of somebody else's drum. And it's like all of a sudden somebody put a drum in front of you and said, play this song, or play any song. Not play this song. Play your own song. And you don't even know what your own song sounds like. So that period of depression, we're like rounding the corner of this thing, okay? We're rounding the corner of this mourning period, and we're about to be coming out, marching to the beat of our own drum.
Oh, that's interesting, man. Oh, look at this buddy chilling with some kid and this like is cuddling the kid. Oh, this is interesting, man. Much love to all the parents out there. You've done a good
What's
job.
the first thing you see in this picture? Firstly, upon seeing the forest, it's evident that you are a hardworking and diligent person. While you may have aspirations in your career, you never look for shortcuts. Instead, you follow the principle of taking things one step at a time, working hard, and accumulating experiences for yourself. You don't believe in the idea that overnight wealth will suddenly fall upon you. Additionally, whether it's your job or finances, you prioritize a solid foundation. Typically, when the foundation isn't sturdy, you don't act recklessly. Honest and straightforward work results in significant earnings for you. And when you see Jesus, be assured that he is also watching over you, signifying that a turning point in your life is approaching. Although there might have been times when you felt unlucky, and things weren't going your way, all that is about to change. Your financial situation and overall circumstances will improve notably, and previous difficulties will soon be overcome. Of course, before this good fortune arrives, you might face some hardships. However, keep faith. After adversities, there's always a turning point, and God blesses you. Follow and share with us, and an unexpected good thing will happen this week.
You're going to be finding yourself doing a lot of things very soon that a lot of people in your life are going to be judging you for hardcore. And this is going to be the first time in your life that you literally do not care. You will not even have a second thought about blocking them or cutting them off. It's just going to be like, you're still judging people for doing things that they need to or even just want to do. Bye. And just chop them off. It's not going to be a problem for you to do this anymore. You're not going to feel bad about it, and you're not going to overthink it. It's literally going to be your automatic response. Because this reality that we're stepping into right now, which you can call the fifth dimensional reality, you can say it's the 5D, you can call it whatever you want. This new reality that you are stepping into, there is no time to waste on this kind of stuff anymore. There's no time to waste on judgment and fear and people pleasing and going back and forth trying to figure out what you're supposed to do and playing these stupid games with people anymore. There is no time for that anymore. There is only time to do exactly what you need to do to stay centered. And there's a lot of choices that you're going to be making within the next few years, but especially the next year, 2024. You're going to be making a lot of choices that are going to catapult you light years ahead of where you are and where you have come from. And there are people around you who, when you do this, it makes them very nervous because they feel like they're being left behind. When they see you flying so high and reaching who you're truly meant to be, and they're not anywhere near doing that for themselves, it makes them very upset and nervous. So them seeing you doing what you're doing makes them afraid of what they're doing. And they feel more comfortable if you are on the same level as them. Now, it doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It doesn't mean that you're better than them. It just means that you have already entered this new reality and you don't have time for these games anymore, but they do.
So, the Prince Andrew part of the Epstein documents, you're probably going to want to scroll past this one. That dude and that story alone is enough for us to be like, you know what? We should let the royals retire. Let them keep the money. They are going to need it for the centuries of therapy they obviously require for the multi-generational trauma. Now, it is weird enough that Prince Andrew has this collection of teddy bears that he loses his collective shit about if they are not, like, perfectly arranged wherever he travels. There's an order, there's a system to it. Like, he throws himself to the ground and has a childlike tantrum if his teddy bears are not, like, properly assembled. There was this 80s, 90s puppet show out of the UK. They showed it on Canadian television. I don't think it ever came to the US, but you would have seen the style of puppets in Phil Collins' music video. They kind of look like their faces are dripping a little. Think like comedy sketch show Loathing of the Royals, and like the Muppets had a baby. Like one of the puppets acted out Charles's tampon thing, and that was considered like fitting for television. That was weird enough. The whole royal family was represented. When the show went off the air, these puppets went up for auction. Ghislaine Maxwell bought the puppet, gave it to Prince Andrew as gift. And instead of burning the puppet that a TV show used to like make fun of you for a few years, Prince Andrew kept it, traveled with it, eventually invited a girl over to Balmoral. Mummy was on the other side of the castle, and Prince Andrew, with a minor, touched her with the puppet. It is time to talk about the mental health of the royal family. You're a grown man with your mom in residence. You're using a puppet on a minor. And the royal family's gotta know. And the best that they did was like, yeah, you can't work here anymore. That's... You got Charles who wants to be a tampon, you got Andrew who touches women with puppets. Sorry, girls with puppets. And you guys think they're amazing. Oh, the royals. Oh, the queen was such a wonderful, loving mother. It's weird. It's weird. And that's what we know about. Buried in like page 380. Everybody on the Epstein list should be considered like a no-go. Do not let them near your children. Do not invite them to your dinner parties. You know that Dubai island shaped like a palm tree that nobody's living on right now? They're nice homes. They're luxury homes. Could we possibly just section them off? Have them meet up every day in the group center for intense therapy? But like, put them on that island. They need a lot of help.
Oh my god. Oh, that was some pretty mind-boggling information. You guys, did you know about that? Please leave a comment. This interesting way to hang a towel. Oh, looks pretty cool. But here people use some piece of cloth for that. Or some skin of an animal as a towel. You see? But anyway, it's good vibes and much love. You see, this is amazing. Look at how this works. This animation explains how things work.
Personality traits of a psychopath. My name is Dr. Jalil Mohammed. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and my job is to diagnose and treat mental health conditions. The first one is something we call superficial charm. So you know when you meet someone for the first time and they blow you away, they're really charming, they're really nice, but as you get to know them more and more, that sort of charm just withers away, and in fact they're not really anywhere near as nice as you thought they were. Then you might notice that actually everyone has this initial reaction to them. Everyone who meets them for the first time thinks, oh wow, they're so nice, they're so charming. But you yourself are aware after having known them for a while that this is just a superficial thing. Underneath, they're nowhere near as charming as they seem. Number 2 is a grandiose sense of self-worth. So psychopaths think that they are the absolute bee's knees. They think they are the best at everything. They can never be wrong. There can never be anyone who's better than them. In their mind, they are just amazing at everything and nobody can tell them any different. Number 3 is pathological lying. So this is lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. And you might not notice this at first, but once you start getting to know a psychopath, you'll realize that they will lie almost seemingly for the sake of it or for the enjoyment of it. Even without an actual intent behind it or trying to achieve something, they will just lie out of habit or just out of the fun of lying. And alongside this, number 4 is that psychopaths are highly manipulative. So a psychopath will know every trick in the book to try to achieve their aims. They will lie, they will use anger, they will use charm, they will use so many different techniques and tactics to try to get what they want. And you may not even realize that you're being manipulated until you look back on things a while later and think, hang on, what the hell just happened? And number 5 is a lack of remorse or guilt. So psychopaths don't feel bad about treading on people. They don't feel bad about causing harm to anyone. They are only focused on achieving their aims. So whoever gets in the way, Psychopaths believe it's their fault. If any harm comes to anyone else, it's their fault and not the fault of the psychopath.
Короче, эту корову каждый день бабулька одна выводит на поле. И когда корова уже хочет вернуться назад, она вот так вот стоит и зовет ее. Она будет стоять и звать. Смотрите.
И все едут с положенной скоростью. А вон бабулечка идет за ней. Прикиньте, вот она простояла минут, наверное, 7. Это вот насколько вот умное животное, что простояла, прождала. И знает, во сколько прийти. Она просто с ней идет. Она дождалась и пошла.
We understand that sometimes these higher dimensional concepts can seem a little bit challenging, a little bit confusing, but don't worry, you'll get used to it. The idea is that you are beginning to think multidimensionally, and this is why we share multidimensional perspectives with you, because it stretches your ability to really experience yourself as a multidimensional being, which is what you are. Please remember that the idea is your greater self is your natural state. You are not really naturally physical people. You are greater non-physical entities, non-physical consciousness. You never really actually leave what we'll call the spirit realm. You have never left it. You're there right now, dreaming that you're not. That's what physical reality is. A dream you are having in spirit that you're no longer in spirit. So when you wake up from the physical dream, you go, oh, that was just a dream. This is who I really am. Much in the same way when you are physical and wake up from a dream, no matter how real the dream seemed in your sleep time, you wake up and go, oh, that was just a dream. Very real dream, but that was just a dream, and this is who I really am. The same thing will happen when you transition into spirit. Oh, that was just a dream. This is who I really am, but I can learn from that dream. What is it I went there to learn? What is it I dreamt I needed to know? That's what you will do. But continuing on with the idea of how you use space and time in a new way, in this new understanding, is that, as we have said, for a long time, you anchored yourself into this concept of the past. But now, as you transition and you start living more in the present, you begin to realize that you are free to choose where the so-called influence actually comes from. If you want to create this concept of continuity and being influenced by something, you can switch the idea of being influenced from your so-called past to starting to be influenced from your so-called future self. Because even in this life, you have future selves every moment. Now you are here, now you are here, now you are here. But this here was the future of that first now you are here. So the idea is that every moment as you're shifting again billions of times per second, you can begin to shift your focus forward, so to speak, still living in the present, but understanding that you're now drawing information, energy, and experience, not so much from the past anymore, unless it serves you to do so, but now from the future you, who is urging you and encouraging you forward and forward and forward into your higher self, into the self you prefer to be. And as this switch occurs, and as this focus shifts, you will begin to feel more communication from the higher mind, more synchronicity in your life, because you know that the future you, or what you deem to be the future you, is living that way. And so as that becomes more real for you, as you in the future become more real to you in the present, in the same way that the you in the so-called past has been real for you for so long, as you shift that focus to the future you and that becomes more real, you will gain more insight. You will be able to be and mirror that version of you more and more easily, more and more effortlessly, and you will start living the life in the present of what you deem the future to be. Is this making some sense? So you are shifting your focus now because, again, as we say, the so-called past and the present and the future all exist within you. There is no out there. It is a reflection, just like a mirror in your reality. If you're looking in a mirror and you see your reflection frowning, you don't go over to the mirror and shout at it to change the reflection. The only way the mirror will be able to smile at you is if you smile first. If you are waiting for the outer reality to change to make a difference in your life, you will wait forever. But when you decide to change, no matter what's going on around you in the reflection, that is proof of true change, because you're not making your change conditional on what's going on in the outer reflection. You're saying that doesn't really matter to me, because I know that I can allow anything to serve me in a positive way. I am not basing my state of being on the old-fashioned, outdated meanings that others have given to what's going on in this reality. I get to decide what this means. I get to decide what the definitions are that work for me, because I am my own reality. I am my own unique point of view, and I get to say what goes. So the idea is for you to start relaxing the old definitions and realize at any given moment what definitions you are applying to things that don't work for you, and start applying definitions that do. Because as you have experienced, existence is going to support you no matter what you choose. It doesn't really contradict you. It can't. Again, in the same way that the mirror can't contradict you for whatever your facial expression is. It has to give you back what it is you're giving off. That's simply the way it's structured. So if it has supported you when you're frowning and given you negative synchronicity, why wouldn't it support you when you decide to smile and get positive synchronicity? It will not contradict you. It absolutely will not, because it's waiting for you to determine who you are, what state of being you prefer, so it can reflect that to you. It doesn't care what you choose, because it's unconditionally supportive. That's what unconditional means. You are so unconditionally supported, in fact, you are even allowed to believe that you are not unconditionally supported. That's how unconditionally supported you are. So if you can believe that you are not unconditionally supported, you're not going to be contradicted when you start to believe that you are supported unconditionally. It's just that you have the control. So allow yourself to take the time to explore the idea of connecting more to your own future self in this life, knowing that your future self is already experiencing simultaneously the kinds of things that you prefer to experience in your life now in the present, so that you can act more like that version of you and become more like that version of you in the new presents that keep coming as you flow your projector light through the present frame, present frame, present frame, present frame. And by acting on your passion and staying in your center and staying in the positive state and extracting the benefit from whatever is happening, then you navigate yourself through all the frames that are more and more and more and more indicative and reflective of that reality you say you prefer to experience, because you're the one creating that within yourself. It's not coming from outside, it's coming from within you. One final very important thing is that to remember, it doesn't matter what happens. It matters what you do with what happens. That's what makes the difference in your reality. It makes all the difference in the world. Does that make sense?
How does that fit? What happened? Why is it covered in mud? What are they trying to hide? And exactly what is going on with this? Like, it looks like a brick building, but then whenever the bricks start falling off, it's a whole nother building. It looks like maybe a courthouse. How do they hide that on the inside, though? This is just crazy. When they laid the foundation for the store, they didn't realize there was a whole nother building up under there? I'm so perplexed with this. Like, how is there so much of the building under the ground, but they don't even know it? Like, how do you go inside of a building that has this much underground and not know there's more to the building underneath? And perhaps the most astonishing one of all is the White House. What's going on under there? Why are all these buildings covered in mud? This too, look at these columns. Erosion has made these be known, so what is going on? What are they trying to hide? Someone digging somewhere in Italy found this in their backyard. This is crazy. My question though really is, where are the people? Where are the people who built these structures? Why have we never heard about this? What happened to them? Why were these stories not passed down from generation to generation? I just don't get it, because it makes no sense. How all these structures can be buried underground. No one knows about them. There's nobody that has been told this from their grandparents, great-grandparents, or anyone. It's just like, whoa, we found these buildings. What the hell? Where's the history on these buildings? Where'd they come from? Who built them? Where's the people that built them? What's the story?
Oh, Cat Talk's gonna go feral over this one. Cats aren't bringing you dead animals because they think you can't hunt. They're doing it because they're keeping up their end of the ancient bargain that they struck with mere mortals. So the real question then becomes, people who do get these gifts from their cat, what are you doing that the rest of us are not, that you have upheld your end of the bargain? But oh, I'm gonna make the cat lore even worse. Cats are not known for cannibalism. Morgues and morticians very often have cats running around. Funeral homes very often have cats running around. You know what the cats aren't doing? Eating people. The only reason or time that a cat will decide that it's going to eat a person is as an honor. They're not doing it out of disrespect or indifference. No, it's an act of love. They're bringing you with them. That's their version of a funeral. They are honoring the dead. Because think about it. Cats will only do this if a beloved owner passes away and they are left with them. It's the only time it happens. They don't go hunting people. You don't hear about it happening to randoms. Cats aren't doing it to every human they come across. I assure you, if a cat decided that you tasted good, they would just take a nibble if they wanted to. No. This is the way they pay their respects to the dead.
Oh, so that is really weird. Oh my god. Did you know that? Makes me really wonder. You see, sometimes I see the cat does that, bring some dead animal, and you wonder what's up with the cat.
Hey, Gaga, because I'm trying to never, sister, no. No.
Oh, see, this is very...
I've seen the images of it with the...
That looks fake.
It looks
That's
fake.
how you know it's real.
Is that how you know it's real?
Yeah.
But how do the images get to us?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, exactly. So
how is that getting to us?
With
the
a
image.
Yeah, with a radio.
Where's the camera that's taking this photo?
There's a camera on a stick.
Really?
Yeah.
And it didn't break off?
No. I mean, we thought it might, but camera is actually not that far from the car.
How many megapixels is that image?
Not that many, actually.
Really?
No, I mean, it's probably a couple megapixels, something like that.
So like an old flip phone?
Yeah.
Is that real?
That's real.
Wow. This is Don't Panic on the screen?
Yeah. Don't panic.
Casper, come here. Good boy. So yes, he can hear me, and he can do that with his ear right over here. You see right behind the eye right there? You see when they touch close, he puts up his nictitating membrane, but this is the ear, that opening, and in fact, this whole piece back here can even move. See that right there? So that whole thing can move. When he goes underwater, he'll seal the entire ear right there. And so they actually have excellent hearing, even though the ear is so small. They have better hearing than we do, even though we got big old satellite dishes on the side of the head. They've got this little tiny opening, and that gives him better hearing than we have. Hi, big guy. Hi, buddy. Look at him. He can also seal off the nostrils up here too. So when he's breathing, you'll see these little things open and close. Then he goes under, he'll seal that off too. Although he lives in the water, he cannot breathe underwater, but he can hold his breath for an amazing 6 hours at a time or even more. And of course, the obligatory, check out those teeth. Look at that. Hi, buddy.
Oh my god, big people fun! Thanks for watching up to this far, man. You see, these animals are usually very amazing and interesting, just like humans. See, so as to say, people should spread love to one another and to the universe as whole. You see, thanks for watching up to this far, man. We are loved and respected. You see, hit the like button, the super thanks, leave a comment there, and be a good vibes person from wherever you're watching, man. Good vibes. This is how Freya wants to sit 24 hours a day. Oh my god. This is interesting. No, this dog really feels nice.
Back at this vortex, this major vortex, are nightmares. I'm going to show you 12-foot tall insect aliens walking by me. Dragons, ghosts, aliens, spider aliens this tall with Power Ranger heads on spider bodies walking through the grass watching us in third dimension. I'm going to show you angels. Thank God, there's something good there. There's something good that way there. And I'm going to show you my meetings with the aliens, which are third dimensional. And I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff tomorrow night. And we're going to talk. And what I want you people to do, the ones that do attend the workshop, is I want you to ask a lot of questions. Because I'm just a bundle of information. Now, I had a TV show in Europe, it's been canceled. They told me to go out and get evidence to back me up. Well, dumb me, I go out and I get evidence. Start shooting angels and dragons and stuff. I brought it to them, they canceled my show. They said, we did not expect you to go do this. You weren't supposed to get the evidence. I go, but what are you talking about? You asked me to get the evidence, I told you I was real, I told you I'm the real thing. You signed me to a 5-year contract. We have all this work going back across the continents. They're like, we can't sleep because of you. I go, well, I'll tell you what, you're not outside this. You are on this planet. There are things going to happen, folks, but I will tell you this. If you want any hope, after the year 2011, it'll all calm down and things will be normal again, or normal for what the world will be, and life will go on. The human race is not set for extinction, if I'm correct, for another 100,000 years. So we got plenty of time to mess up again. The vortex is going to open for 19 days. All right, the gates of hell, as somebody had said today at my table, the gates of hell are opening. Yeah, they're going to open, all right? But good things are coming through, too. It's bad because there's always balance. There's always balance to a certain extent, okay? The hurricane's coming in, as predicted, because I kept seeing the water surge. People ask me, what does this mean? Are you going to have, I said, maybe I think we're going to have an earthquake. But I keep seeing water, I keep seeing water. So, okay, it's a hurricane. The hurricane's going to hit the East Coast at the same time the vortex opens. Where are people going to be? Not in the woods. They're going to be battened down in their house. So divine providence gives them a chance, the people that might have been out in the woods, that might have met some of these bad creatures, they will be safe. And at the same time, the creatures will have the cloak of the storm to move out into the woods further. So you see how God balances for both sides? Remember, divine providence, the natural order of the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't judge. They create bad as well as good. Tommy Hawk's blood, where are you, Tommy? Everybody can see you. There's the spiritual man. There's the balance to Sargel 18. I'm not spiritual. I don't consider myself spiritual. I don't think I have a spiritual bone in my body. But I'm a good person. I don't spit on bums and kick babies. Okay? Because what I deal with, I don't see any room for love and light out there in those fields at night. You know, maybe that's my thing. You know, that's what I got to deal with in this life. That comes with doing this type of job. But I'm telling you, the only reason why I'm up here is so that you can see the evidence, determine for yourself, number one, whether it's true or not, okay? And then let's just say it is true, and God help us that this does happen. At least you'll know what you're dealing with. When you open your door and there's a 2.5-foot spider with a Power Ranger head looking up at you, you know to close the damn door on it or step on it. Not to try to put your hand out and touch it because it'll bite your hand off.
Bro, do you think that guy's telling the truth?